Hello, Africa. Jambo, salam, sawubona. I am Soraya Mentor, and this is Africa Beyond Borders. On this show, we chat to amazing Africans who've traveled around the world, celebrating culture and living their dreams. Today's guest, I look up to him so much. He's just a ray of talent, and I'm so excited and so honored to talk to him. We have Caleb Zola joining us. Hi, Caleb.
Hey, Soraya, thank you for the beautiful introduction. Oh my word, I feel so special. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us. I can't believe, like, literally, this was such a last minute planning. I was stalking your Instagram and I was like, wait, I need Caleb on the show. So thank you for joining us today.
No, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's a,
Starting off, were you about to say something? Sorry.
no, no, you're good. Please let me let you do your job. You do it so beautifully, so I'm ready for all the questions you have for me.
Oh, so cool. I'd love to tap into where you grew up. I know you were born in Cape Town, and then you moved to quite a lot of places, to East London, to Joburg, to Port Elizabeth. What was that like growing up in different cultures or different cities, if I may say?
Yeah, no, growing up, I mean, goodness, I've like you mentioned, I was born in Cape Town in South Africa, and then because of my parents' work in the church ministry, we moved to Joburg, East London, Port Elizabeth, and then to Windhoek in Namibia. And so, growing up in all of those different cultures, one could look at it in two different ways, like, oh no, I have to move all the time, it's scary, which it is. But
Yeah.
I took it as this is just an opportunity for me to get to know new people, see new places that I never thought I'd be able to see, make and build connections. I mean, you, for example, we come from, that Windhoek Namibia background. And so being able to connect with different people across the world, which I'm just so grateful. And it's truly made me the extrovert I am today.
No, I can imagine life technically forced you to be around people. But I'm actually curious to find out what culture you're from, or tradition, if I should say so.
Yeah, that's even a crazier story. So my dad is Congolese,
Wow.
and my mom is from Cape Town, so she's Cape colored. I've got some really rich ancestry and tapestry that is just interwoven in my blood, and then not almost having like a place that I could really call like this is like my home because everywhere is my home, every place that I've lived. And so having already different cultures of my parents and then experiencing different cultures of South Africa, you almost adopt every little part of South African culture and Namibian culture. So, yes, I would call myself, half Congolese, half colored, but I'm also isiXhosa, isiZulu. I'm also Oshivambo,
Oh.
Oshirero. So it's literally all of the places where I've felt peace, where I felt home, where I found family, and that's in every place that I've lived, which I carry in my DNA.
That made me so emotional right now because I just realized you're literally carrying a bit of Africa in you. And not only are you doing it just for the sake of doing it, but you're doing it so beautifully, so respectfully. I've never met a Congolese colored. I think if I talk about people about you, I'll be like, I know this Congolese guy, but he's also colored, but he's also Xhosa, like everything. I absolutely love that. Do you actually speak a bit of French? Because I think Congolese people speak French.
They do speak French. Love my dad, he taught me music.
Wow.
French, not so much. My sister picked up more of the French, so she can continue that lineage in French. But when it comes to music, hey, he did his big one with that, and so I'm grateful to at least have that musical knowledge that I've been able to gain from him. But not French, but hey, piano counts.
That's a flex on its own if you think about it. That's a whole flex. I'm going to get into your music side soon. I just want to hear your journey. Moving to Windhoek, Namibia, this was in 2017, and you finished your high school here in Windhoek
Yes,
High School. What was that cultural
yes.
change like moving to a new country?
I'll be the first to admit moving to Windhoek was the hardest of all of the moves that I've
Oh,
done. I mean, I went to seven schools growing up, and the thing is, in South Africa, moving, yes, difficult, but it was kind of easier because I was in the same country, and it was just, an hour plane ride or like a 5, 6 hour drive to see my friends. Where moving to Namibia was a whole different country which I didn't know much of, there was actually a point in, I believe, 2012 when my family was living in Joburg that we did come to Namibia for a week for some mission trip work. But I mean, I was like barely walking at that point in time, so I didn't really know what I was coming into. But I will say Namibia was honestly one of my most favorite places I've lived in. The people, the authenticity, the beauty that is Namibia and the country. Um, it was not difficult to fall in love with Namibia. And finishing high school and the friends and the connections and the opportunities that it afforded me living in Namibia was just something that I don't granted. And I'm just so grateful and live, 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 laugh, and love Namibia because, hey, oh my word, every day I wish I could go back and have some kapana.
oh
Like
my
every time,
gosh.
like friends and family come from Namibia, I ask them, please bring me like some kapana spice because that's gonna make my whole year. Like I use kapana spice for everything.
It's needed.
So yeah, I miss my kapana and I miss my oshikandela. Oh my goodness, miss it. But yeah, Namibia, I can't say anything bad about it. Just gave me, it was the place where I grew. I've all of my teenage years in Namibia, so it was where I was able to, grow. And that's an experience that I'll never take for granted.
Wow, I am sitting here like a proud, proud Namibian. Oh my gosh, I absolutely get what you mean with Oshikandela and the Kapana spices. Ooh, did you have any other culture
No.
shocks when you came to Namibia? You were like, oh, this is definitely not South Africa.
Um, I honestly actually could say just maybe the population size. I mean, South Africa, we're sitting at what, 70 million? And then going to Windhoek, which had a population of 300,000, when my city, Cape Town, is like 4 million people.
Sure.
So going to a significantly smaller city, that was a bit interesting because the change of pace is a little bit slower. Um, and there are obviously lots of different cultural differences because South Africa has their own cultures, Zulu, Xhosa, Ndebele, and Namibia has its own cultures, Damara, Herero, Oshivambo. So it is it was so cool to just hear the history and the ancestry behind all of these different cultures and what makes them beautiful. I can't really say culture shocks, but more so culture experiences because I don't personally think there's a lot of shocks when it comes to culture because it's people's culture, it's what they grew up with. So it was more so an opportunity to learn and experience other cultures in Africa.
I love the way you said that it's not a culture shock, but it's an opportunity to learn. Technically, it's not a shock
Mm.
to that culture or for you joining in,
Yes.
because you are submerging
Yeah.
yourself in the culture.
Yes.
I absolutely
Yes.
love that. I want to tap a little bit into your au pairing journey when that was in
Yes.
2023, if I'm not mistaken.
2022, yes, just before I
2022.
moved
How
for
was that like for
university,
you?
yes. It was absolutely amazing. I had the beautiful privilege of au pairing four boys from Australia. They're also missionaries who moved to Namibia. So I did that in my gap year, and that was amazing. I'm always grateful to my church, the Salvation Army, because I was very involved in the children and youth and music ministry. And so being able to work with, Sunday school and youth prepared me for au pairing. And it was absolutely wonderful. Um, Literally the sweetest boys you'll ever meet. And it's so true. Like, and this is, I guess, the most Australian thing. They just are so curious about nature and space, and exploration, which is so traditionally or typically Australian, which I absolutely loved. I learned about so many different types of snakes and spiders, my
Oh,
word.
okay.
But it was absolutely wonderful. And literally, all of these tools that prepared me for even my trips to America, like it gave me the foundation that I needed to do my job effectively when I went to the States.
I would love to tap into, meeting another culture like Australian people. How did that change the way you perceived the world or the way you perceived yourself?
Um, it is very difficult sometimes when you look at the surroundings that you grow up in, the friends you make, the people you hang out with, your situation, to think of your life in these four walls, where I live, where I interact. And when you have a chance to talk and interact with people who are outside of South Africa or Namibia, even outside of Africa, you realize just how big and just how vast the world is, and how different and unique and how special each different place is. So for me, I've had the opportunity to, as a South African, interact with Namibians and Americans and Australians. And you realize that although we come from different backgrounds and different places, there's a common thread that is you take away the skin color, you take away the outside, we're all the same on the inside. We all have feelings, we all have emotions, we all have joy, we all have sadness. And being able to hear how other people deal with it coming from their background is so amazing because you realize that, yes, we may be thousands and thousands of kilometers apart, but that universal experience of wanting to have true love and true joy and true friendship, that doesn't change. And I think that was just so special for me to realize.
I can listen to you talk for a very, very long time. That was like so therapeutic, and I even forgot for a second I'm interviewing you, and I'm just like, what? Like, I want to hear more. Caleb, I absolutely love
Thank you, thank you.
love everything about this interview. But for now, we're gonna have to take a quick break before we get into your USA journey, going traveling
Yes.
beyond the borders. To all our viewers watching, we know you guys can't wait to join us soon. We'll be right back. Hello Namibia, hello Africa. I'm Soraya Mentor and you are watching Africa Beyond Borders. On this show, we chat to amazing Africans who've traveled beyond their home countries. It is all about culture and how we carry it and celebrate it everywhere we go. Today's guest is Caleb Zola, and we were just speaking about his title because he's such an artistic person, from theater to musician to performer to social media. Hi, Caleb again.
Hey, Soraya.
We were just chatting about how Caleb grew up in Cape Town, traveled around South Africa,
Mhm.
moved to Namibia, and his journey now going to USA, which was this year. And I just want to tap into it. And before we move on, Caleb has gotten the title. He's currently studying music and psychology, double major. Oh my gosh. He's
Double
gotten the
major.
he's gotten the title of, I want to say this right, the Golden International
Key.
Honorary Society Award. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Yay!
Yes. Yeah, it's a big title. Oh my goodness.
Top
Yeah,
15% in
Golden
your
Key.
course in South Africa. That is
Yes.
massive.
Yes. Yeah, I'm just so grateful. Golden Key, I mean, studying is a lot of work. I'll be the first to admit that, especially doing two different things, music and psychology.
Oh,
And for those who are wondering, I'm taking both of them so I can do music therapy. That's where I see myself in a couple of years'
wow.
time. And so, you know, it's so funny, Soraya. Like, yes, it's academic achievement, but it doesn't feel like it's a chore when it's something that you love doing, you know? So when you really love something, you're passionate at it, you work hard at it, and then, the marks and the results show. So I'm, super, super grateful. Golden Key offers so many opportunities and networking opportunities, and yeah, I'm just so grateful. Yeah, that long title, but it's more so that it just shows that the hard work does pay off. And I'm just, yeah, so grateful that I can do what I love and, get the academic recognition of it as well.
And not only are you doing it just to get by, you're doing it excellent. Congratulations on that award
Yes.
again.
Thank you.
I'd love to
Thank
tap
you.
into your journey into, oh, welcome. I'd like to tap into your journey to USA. Firstly, how did that
Yes.
begin? Where?
So again, my church, the Salvation Army, has, wonderful opportunities and has afforded me so many cool experiences. And in the States, where our church is a lot bigger, they offer summer camp programs. And so, um, due to my parents being as hardworking as they are, they've made so many connections along the way, and one of their American connections was, they were thinking of me for the music, the music counselors on a specific camp, and they're like, would you be keen on going to the States? And I was like, absolutely, yeah, I would love to go. It's always been my dream to go to the States. And yeah, we got the ball in motion, got my visas, got my paperwork. And then around the end of May, I left for, it was a 16-hour flight from Cape Town
Sure.
to Washington, Washington, D.C. And then from there, I flew to Houston. And then from Houston, I landed in Jackson, Mississippi, where I was camped for like 2 months, which was absolutely amazing. Oh my word, dreams coming true, being able to do my passion and working with children and two of my favorite things that I love doing. And then I got a chance to go to a music institute in Kentucky. And then afterwards, around actually like a month ago today, actually, I flew back to South Africa, ending my journey in the States. But it will not be the last time the States see me. Some
Definitely.
exciting things coming up. And yeah, so I'm just waiting for my studies to finish, and then more plans will be made. And that's all I can say for now. But yes, the States was absolutely amazing.
I would love to know, going there as a music counselor, I'm sure you had your own prep, but what did you learn when you went there and interacted with this youth?
I'd say not a culture shock, but a culture experience. Was, we see a lot of America through the lens of social media and TV and movies, and being in person, experiencing it is a completely different experience. I'm very grateful. I'm not oblivious to the fact that, America is a very place, politically, socially, economically, and especially coming from a South African background, I was very careful and mindful of what I said and what I did. But honestly, it was the most amazing experience. Everyone was so kind and so welcoming. And being able to experience and work with all these children, you see how, music education really differs. And it's awesome, being in a first world country like America, where, the arts are more celebrated and more, there's more effort and attention given to it. And you can
Yeah.
see by the results of these children, I mean, they're passionate and they're talented like really early on. Not to say that South Africa and Namibia doesn't have that. I mean, compared to a lot of places, we're doing a really good job in, like music wise, and instilling those traits in, our young children. But, when you see almost 100 million people, I don't even know, even more in America, where it's celebrated so like effortlessly, and it was just so beautiful to see, and to help these children reach even another level of their music careers, and the fact that I had even just a small part to play in that,
Oh.
I'm so grateful. And so yeah, it was a lot of fun. Oh, it was just, yeah, I could write books about just how amazing the experience was.
I think you should. I think I would read all those books. I would buy all those books. No,
I'll send
knowing
you a
that,
copy, don't worry.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Knowing that you've traveled around America from Texas to Washington, D.C., and to Mississippi, because you tapped into arts, how did you find the arts in these different, should I say, states or regions?
Yes, the States. Yes, the States. You know, it was truly the first time in my life where I could experience, and I say Western culture because yes, we've got lots of different diverse cultures in South Africa, but we still, Africa, and there's still some things and traditions that just make us purely and uniquely and authentically African. And so going to very much Western country and seeing how, art and culture differs, it was really, really cool because we're in South Africa, we love our choral and our linguistics and our indigenous languages and dancing and rhythm, which is just so beautiful and just it's just oozing culture. Not that it isn't done in the States, but they're a bit more modern, they're a bit more quick, they're a bit more advanced. They use a lot more technology, which I think is absolutely awesome. And the way that they do it and they play around with music, it is just so cool to witness. Um, but what I really, really appreciated is that they respected where I came from and my music background, and they were able to, they were so keen on listening to music that I
Oh,
brought, from back home in different languages, and they were just so curious and intrigued, which I really appreciated. And in turn, I was just as curious to hear about their music and how they developed their things, and it was just absolutely awesome. And yeah, it's really true that music brings people together. And I can, without a shadow of a doubt, say that despite where you are in the world, whether you speak English, whether you speak Afrikaans, whether you speak Xhosa, whatever language you speak, the power of the language of music has no language. As long as you can feel it, you have it.
that is so beautifully said. I absolutely love how you also exchanged your culture with someone else and they received it so positively rather. I absolutely love that. And you actually answered my next question, but we're going to move on rather. I would love to know, knowing that you recently went to America, I mean like May, June, July, August, like 4 months in this entire new continent. I would love to know, what traveling tips would you give me if I were to leave to America tomorrow?
I would say number one, when you get to the States or any country that doesn't use the rand, do not think in rands, guys. I promise you, you're not going to buy anything if you look at that exchange rate. So when you're in the States, think in US dollars because then it like everything makes sense. Like when you see like $2 and you're thinking, yo, now I have to spend 45 rand. No, no, no. Don't think in rands or Namibian dollars. Think in US dollars. So that's the first thing. The second thing is traveling, you really see how big other countries, like especially first world countries, are when you get to the airports. Make sure you've got your belongings, tight and in order and organized because it makes going through customs so much easier. They give you like an order and a list of all the documents you have. You just give them the packet. I was in immigration for like literally 2 minutes because all of my documents were in order. So save yourself the hassle. Make sure you have it in a special binder. And they're really not evil and malicious people. Just make sure you make their job easier, and then they will make your life easy. And the last thing I would say is be prepared to answer loads of questions about your culture.
Wow.
And I don't say it like in a bad way. They just so that's just something I really appreciate. They were just so curious and interested to know about South Africa and about Africa as a whole. And so make sure you don't have to be the most politically inclined or the most historically inclined, but know at least a little bit of what is going on where you come from at back home so that you can have conversations with people because that's the best way you make connections, and just share more of your culture. Just knowing a little bit of your history, and a little bit of your politics, especially in a country that is very politically inclined like the States. And yeah, that's all I would say. The biggest things that I learned while I was there.
I absolutely love that. Those are tips I needed to write down. Where's my pen? Where's my pencil? I absolutely love to not think in rands because I'll be like, oh, it's just $2. It's not just
Yeah,
$2.
just think your dollars, and you'll be good.
Caleb, I'm so sad to say goodbye to you, but have come to the end of the show.
Oh, but thank you for having me. It's been absolutely wonderful. You are so amazing. Oh, Soraya, love you long time, girl. Love you long time.
Caleb said I'm amazing on TV. I'm gonna clip this and remember this for the rest of my life. Thank you so much.
It's true. It's true.
Thank you for joining
Thank you for
us.
having me.
To all our viewers watching from home, thank you for joining us on Monday. You can catch us next week Monday at 8:30 p.m. on DSTV channel 285, GoTV channel 25, and you can stream every episode that we had on oneup2.com. We'll see you guys next week. Ciao, ciao.